Okay. Cross-exam from Mr. Whitaker?
Thank you, Your Honor. May I please the court?
Yes.
You love your family, Mr. Robinson. That's what we just heard, right?
Yes.
I guess you love yourself. Right? Yes or no, sir?
Of course. Self-love first, right?
Over your children.
That's the law of nature. Love yourself first.
Okay. You're cooperating in this case, correct, sir?
Correct.
This is not your first cooperation, is it?
No,
You've somewhat made a career out of it, have you not?
I wouldn't say career.
Well, you first testified against an officer, Officer Eric Sinclair, back in
Relevance.
Overruled.
1999, right?
Did I do what?
You testified against Officer Eric Sinclair back in 1999.
No, I didn't.
You came forward with information.
Yeah.
The officer evidently didn't take it to trial, correct?
Correct.
But your cooperation, your testifying to the federal government caused him to enter a plea, right?
I'm not going to agree with that.
Okay. Well, what you probably will agree with is that your sentence was dramatically reduced, right?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it true that before you talked to the federal government, what you were facing back in 1999, you could have gotten up to life imprisonment, correct?
Yes.
And it was reduced to 10 years, right?
No.
Substantial reduction?
My time was reduced to 22 years.
How much did you serve?
About 10 years and 3 months, 4 months.
Okay. So from life to an ultimate actual serving sentence of about 10 years.
Guess what? It was a law change, and that's how my time got reduced again.
Well, and your cooperation, sir.
Yeah.
Right? So pretty good deal you made for yourself.
Yeah.
You've also worked as a confidential informant for police, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you're cooperating in this particular case because it will help you, right?
Right.
And you were arrested, I think you told us roughly September of 2020.
September 10th, 2020.
September 10th, it sounds like you remember the exact day,
Yes.
right, sir? I imagine that was an important day to you, correct?
I ain't gonna say important.
Well, it did cause you to be incarcerated, sir, right?
Right.
Where you've remained, correct?
Right.
And that was for your involvement in the McCormick homicide, right?
Yes.
When did they hit you with the Rothermel homicide?
2021.
Okay, so in 2020, you're facing an accessory after the fact charge for your involvement in the death of Charles McCormick, right?
Right.
And when they brought you in, you've agreed to cooperate, right?
Right.
But that didn't happen until 2022, correct?
Right.
That would have been after they put the second homicide on you, right?
Right.
Now, in the Rothermel homicide, you're aware that Dominique Varner originally was going to testify against you, right?
Right.
And your involvement in what you've pled guilty to as accessory after the fact in the Rothermel killing was that you admit you gave money to Dominique Varner after knowing he had just been involved in this shooting and needed to get out of town.
Yes.
And you're willing to admit that, correct?
Yes.
You do not admit, you do not agree with Mr. Varner's claim that you provided a gun and a car to accomplish that drive-by shooting.
Right.
Okay? You don't agree with that,
No.
right?
No.
Because based on your knowledge, sir, you understand that if you and I plan to do a crime together, whatever crime, we're both considered principals, right?
Yes.
And so you can stay at home. But if you and I agree to do a crime and I do everything, but you help me, you support me, you do something, say some word that actually inspires me, that encourages me to commit the crime, you can be punished as if you did everything I did, right?
Right.
But you weren't charged as a principal in the Rothermel killing, were you?
No.
And so you were left with solicitation for murder. I guess you were originally arrested for that charge, right?
Yes.
And essentially, you understood that that charge, they were accusing you of trying to entice the murder to happen, right?
Right.
But they dropped that charge pursuant to your plea agreement, right?
Well, I think it's going to be dropped.
I'm sorry?
I think it's going to be dropped.
Okay. You just know you haven't entered a plea to it, sir, right?
Right.
That was not part of your plea agreement for you to enter a plea of guilty to solicitation for murder, correct?
Right.
Only accessory, right?
Yes.
And accessory after the fact, you understand, and you understood before you entered your plea agreement, that that's punishable by up to 30 years.
Yes. Yes.
And so when you have two of them, that means that you could be sentenced up to 60 years, correct?
Correct.
But in 2022, when you agreed to come forward and cooperate, they cut your exposure by 2/3, right?
Yes.
I mean, I'm never been super great at math, but 30 plus 30 is 60, right?
Right.
And your plea agreement for the death of two human beings calls for a maximum of 20 years, right?
Right.
And your actual guidelines are only about 7 years, right?
Right.
And I think you told us that that was based on your age, your health issues, and you want to be there for your younger kids, right?
Yes.
Would you agree with me? You weren't there for your older kids.
That's why I know better this time.
Okay. You did grow up with quite a bit of respect on the streets, sir, didn't you?
Yep.
And you personally never met Charles McCormick,
Nope.
but you did know who he was, correct?
Yes.
And you knew in spring of 2019 that he had put out this rap song, correct?
Yes.
And you, as you've told us, you were physically in the car when Willie Addison was killed, correct?
Yes.
And your son, Abdul Jr., was in that car, correct, sir?
Yes.
And Torrigan Williams was in that car, correct, sir?
Yes.
And all of you got shot, correct?
Yes.
And you explained there was somebody else there that was actually also shot and paralyzed as a result, right?
Yes.
And who was that again?
My nephew,
Okay, and what's his name, sir?
Samuel Cooper.
Samuel what?
Cooper.
Cooper.
Yes.
Samuel Cooper.
Yes.
Also shot with Willie Addison, with you all, and is now paralyzed.
Yes.
And then you also mentioned somebody named Moody.
Yes.
Do you know Moody's full name?
I think it's Antonio McLaurin or something like that.
Antonio McLaurin.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Were you aware that Antonio McLaurin wore a wider on Mr. Barner?
Yes. Do we need to speak sidebar about that? Okay. Let me see court reporter and counsel at sidebar.
I heard objection, I just didn't hear anything after that.
Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. And so I'm sorry, you told us another person that was in the car with you all when Willie Addison was killed and you all were shot was a person with the nickname, I'm sorry, give it to us one more time.
Moody.
Moody. And you believe Moody's full formal name is Antonio McLaren.
Yes.
Okay. And my question to you was, were you aware that Antonio McLaren wore a confidential wire on Dominique Varner
Yes.
in jail? You were?
Yes.
Okay. It's fair to say that you were vengeful after that shooting, is it not, sir?
Yes.
And that is, in fact, is why you were willing to be involved in what would become the attempted murder of someone named P. Money, and that resulted in the Rothermel killing.
Yes.
Because P. Money, and do you happen to know his formal name?
No, I don't know his full name.
Okay. But you know who I'm talking about when I say P. Money,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
He was a target for you, correct?
Yes.
Because you did believe he was responsible for not only killing your son, Willie Addison, but hurting everybody else, correct? Including yourself.
Yes.
You were not personally there during the actual shooting of what ended up being the death of Mr. Rothermel and the attempt on P. Money, correct?
Correct.
But you have pled guilty to accessory after the fact for that death.
Yes.
And you have admitted to providing Varner with money in order to get out of town, correct?
Yes.
Now, we've heard you kind of explain that on January 15th, you end up driving your Dodge Challenger, correct?
Yes.
Over to the Townsend Road area?
Yes.
And you claim that you then picked up Dominique Varner and Leroy Whitaker, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I apologize for skipping around a little bit, but I just realized something I almost forgot to ask you about. How long have you known Leroy Whitaker?
I've known him for probably about a little bit more than 5 years probably now.
A little bit more than 5 years, sir?
Yeah, probably no.
Okay. And you were born in 71 or 70?
70.
In 1970, which makes you about 55 now, sir?
Yeah, I'll be 55 this year.
Okay. Now, back in 2020, I think you've already told us your son, Abdul Jr., was 25? That sound right?
It might be. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you told us, I mean, we can, if we have to, we can do the math.
Yeah,
Not
do the
very good
math.
at the math, but we can certainly do it. What year was Abdul Jr. born?
94.
Okay. So that would appear to make him 26, if my math is correct. Does that sound right?
26 now?
If you subtract, what month? 2020?
November.
Okay, so we'd use 2019, so that'd make him 25 at the time of the death of Mr. McCormick.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That sound about right, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said that there's a 4-year age difference between the two sons, between Abdul Jr. and Hakeem Robinson, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if depending on the birthdays, and again, we're talking November, so if there's 4 years, then Hakeem Robinson was 21 years old, right?
Yes.
When was Willie Addison born? What year was he born?
I think 93. I think. I'm not 100% sure.
1993, which would make him 26.
At 2020, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And in 2019, when he was killed, he would have been 25.
Yeah.
Okay. Leroy Whitaker is substantially younger than all of them, correct?
Yeah,
And you always knew that from the little time that you did spend with him, correct?
yes,
And Willie and Leroy Whitaker had no relationship whatsoever, right?
not that I know of.
And Leroy Whitaker does not rap that you're aware of, correct?
No, no.
And with all of your testimony, though, you have not heard Leroy Whitaker specifically ever make any kind of statement that he wanted Charles McCormick dead, correct?
Correct.
And you have never heard Leroy Whitaker ever say anything to suggest he knew anyone was going to get out of a car and shoot Charles McCormick, correct?
Repeat that question.
You never heard Leroy Whitaker say anything that he would have any knowledge that anyone was going to get out and shoot Charles McCormick.
No, I haven't.
And sir, have you ever been convicted of a felony or a crime of dishonesty?
No. You said a crime of dishonesty?
And I'm sorry, let me make it easier.
Yeah.
Ever been convicted of a felony, sir?
Yes.
How many times?
2.
Nothing further.
Okay, cross for Mr. Robinson.
Your community up until this point, seated right there, right?
Say that again?
Your community, your family, those people that know you best in this world are in this courtroom right now, right?
I don't think so.
You don't see family sitting there?
Nope.
You don't see Hakeem's mother sitting there?
Oh, yeah, I see her.
Now, of course, she knows you, right?
Yeah, she know me.
A moment ago, you said that you are a 2-time convicted felon. And let's jump into the first time. In the year of 2000, you were sentenced to 262 months in federal court, correct?
Yes.
Hakeem was an infant at that time, right?
Yes.
You go away for roughly 10 years.
Right.
Now, you said a moment ago that, well, that you disagreed about cooperation. You got what's called, the government filed a 5K, right?
Yes.
And a 5K specifically is when somebody has provided substantial assistance in the investigation or prosecution of others. You agree with that?
Yes.
But you disagree that you got a reduction because of cooperation?
No, I don't think I disagree with that. She said testifying.
All right. You snitched on other people, you got a reduction, right?
Yeah.
All right. So years later, this case comes along. You get charged in the McCormick case. You get charged in the Rothermel case. And you initially plead not guilty, correct?
Right.
You fight the McCormick case for a period of time, right?
Right.
You have your attorney involved in depositions knowing the facts of the case, correct?
Yes.
And then your attorney comes to you and says, they're threatening to charge you as a principal.
Objection, Judge.
And the grounds?
Privileged communications.
Okay,
For him to waive, Your Honor, not the government to say.
okay. Well, then I'll leave it to Mr. Abdul Robinson Sr.
There was a point in time when these 2 murder cases are pending that you learn that the government is now trying to leverage you, threatening you with charging you as a principal in the Rothermel case, right?
Yes.
And that would have meant a life minimum mandatory for you, right?
Yes.
So, you agree, you cave, and astonishingly, for the second time, Why is it that you only grow a conscience when you're looking at hefty prison terms?
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained. Just ask a question, Mr. DeCoste, without commentary.
Previous case, you were looking at life, you cooperated to get out of it, right?
Yes,
Once again, you're looking at life, and you decide to cooperate to get out of it, right?
right,
Now, you're hoping that the recommendation is going to be that you serve for all of your crimes only 76 months, right?
I mean, yes,
All right. That's what you have in writing with the government, right?
yes,
And you've served a majority of that time already.
right,
So that means that within a short couple of months, maybe 12, you're going to be back walking the streets of Jacksonville.
yeah,
That was the price of your testimony. Right?
right.
You had to cooperate and implicate your two sons, but it got you out of custody.
You say implicate them?
You had to point at your sons. Let's back up for a second. At the point in time that they leveraged you with life on the Rothermel case, they had already arrested your son and said that he was the one that committed it, right?
Oh, no, nah, you confusing me.
Okay. Let's break it down. You said a moment ago that the government sent message to you that they were going to basically indict you on the Rothermel case and that you were potentially looking at life. You then decided to cooperate. You remember that, right?
Right,
Okay. They had already, on this case, through the evidence, through the depositions that your attorney was at, they already believed that Hakeem was a shooter, right?
right,
All right. So it wasn't something that you came forward and like, hey guys, let me help you understand the case. You just agreed to their narrative.
no, I didn't agree to their narrative. They asked me what the conversation was when I picked them up.
Okay, let's move on here. So, at that point though, they had already pointed the finger at Hakeem, right?
Right,
All right. So you just continued with their case. Yeah, I'm going to point at Hakeem. He was a shooter, right?
I can't agree with that.
You also pointed out your other son, Abdul, the one that shares your name, Abdul Kareem Robinson Jr., right?
Right,
Before you decided to cooperate, you had also reviewed all of the phone records in this case, correct?
yes,
So you had knowledge of what the government believed was happening in the case.
yes,
Now, let's talk about Dominique Barner. Your words, he's a reliable hitman, right?
yes,
For you to know that he's a reliable hitman, you must have used him as a hitman before, right?
no,
And how do you know he's a reliable hitman? Can't be the Rothermel case because they didn't kill P Money. So how is it that you know that he is a reliable hitman?
I mean, you hear things when you're in the streets.
And that's where you live. Not physically on the streets, but you are a street guy, right?
I have been one.
All right. And the marks of that are on you. You have bullet holes, right?
Yes,
You have tattoos, right?
yes,
Keem has neither.
right,
Not a single tattoo in his body, right?
right.
Never been shot.
That's good.
Now, let's get back to Barner, your reliable hitman. In the Rothermel case, it's Blue, that's you, right?
Yes,
Now, you also go by OG too, right?
yeah,
Okay. So it's Blue, Butter, right? Dominique Barner,
yeah,
and Chris Brown, right?
yes,
That's the trio. Blue, Butter, Brown. In the Rothermel case, right? Right?
yeah,
Now, Chris Brown, his nickname is Crazy Chris.
right.
You know Chris Brown, obviously.
Yes,
State? All right. Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Robinson, I'm
showing you it's been pre-marked. It's defense 1. You know what that is, right?
Yes,
That's a picture of Chris Brown.
right.
And you know that's a picture of Chris Brown because you committed crimes with him.
No,
You're denying that you committed crimes with him on the Rothermel
Objection,
case?
Judge.
yes, I'm denying.
Okay,
that.
just a moment. When there's an objection, I have to rule. What's the objection?
I withdraw based on the way it was then phrased.
Okay, go ahead, ask the question.
Chris Brown is a co-defendant on the Rothermel case, right?
Right,
And you pled guilty on that case?
yes,
All right. Now, this photo fairly and accurately depicts what Chris Brown looked like in January of 2020.
yes.
Defense offers which were pre-marked as defense 1.
Okay, so any objection from the state? Any objection from Mr. Whitaker? No, Your Honor. Okay, then defense exhibit will be marked into evidence as defendant Robinson's number 1.
That's Chris Brown, right? Can you see the monitor?
His monitor is not on.
Published all. Mike taught me better.
Well, it's off everywhere now.
There we go. Now, there we go. It takes a minute.
Okay.
That's Chris Brown, right?
Yes,
Butter pecan skin. Right?
yes,
Not Hakeem.
no,
Dreads down to his chin, right?
no,
He's got dreads, no?
yes.
Some of that hair goes down to his chin.
Talking about hair on his chin?
Down to his chin.
Yeah, he got hair on his chin.
All right. Now, Chris Brown's right around 6 feet, maybe a little bit under.
He
Right.
might, yeah, he might be about 6 feet, a little bit on.
He's a skinny guy, too, right?
Yes,
He's also best friends with Butter.
yes,
Crazy Chris, Chris Brown, and Butter Dominique Barner. Right?
right,
Now, Dominique Barner, he lives that life too, right? He's got wounds, he's got tattoos.
yes,
He doesn't have a future in the entertainment industry.
no,
None of them do.
no,
Now, let's talk about work. Been out of custody since, roughly 2009, July 2009, you get out of custody on that federal case.
yes,
In your life, you have never filed taxes, right?
no,
Judge, relevant.
Yes, sustained.
Never received a paycheck from a legitimate job.
yes,
Now, the House of Pain, your Instagram handle is HOP CEO, right?
right,
That stands for House of Pain CEO.
yes,
That's yours from back in the 90s, right?
right,
When House of Pain, that's my era, when House of Pain was big. Right?
right,
That's not Hakeem's era.
no,
Now, you had shirts that were put together, right?
yes,
You even have like drawings where you tried to draw out the crest for House of Pain,
yes,
and you were hoping to build that into something legitimate, right?
yeah, yes,
Legitimate. The emblem, correct me if I'm wrong, is an axe on the right side, right?
the what?
Do you remember the logo that you drew?
No,
To refresh your recollection, to take a look at what you drew?
yeah,
Brief moment, Your Honor. Take a look at that. You know if that refreshes your recollection.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
All right, so the House of Pain logo that you created, it's got a house with bullet holes in it, right?
yeah,
Below that, stacks of money, right?
right.
A microphone.
Under relevance.
Yeah, how is this relevant?
Your Honor, do you want me to go sidebar and explain?
No, I'm going to sustain.
Okay. The House of Pain email that the government has talked so much about today, that's also yours, right?
No.
So House of Pain and everything about it is yours except the email address.
Yeah, I can't remember making no email address for House of Pain.
When the police searched your house in the U-Haul truck that was out there, they found T-shirts for House of Pain. They found other swag that you had made and these drawings for House of Pain, right?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
And again, your Instagram handle is HOPCEO.
Yes.
All right. Now, let's talk about Hakeem Robinson. Hakeem is 6'2", 6'3", your words?
Yes.
Well over 200 pounds?
Yeah.
230, 240?
About 230.
In 2019, an opportunity came his way, right?
Yeah.
He was close friends with another rapper by the name of Young and Ace, right?
Correct.
He's known Ace for a long time.
Correct.
Ace has gotten hugely big over the years, right?
Correct.
Now, at the time, Ace was signed by Cinematic, right?
Correct.
And at that time, Hakeem was lucky enough to get connected with Johnny Shipes, right?
Correct.
Now, this is the same guy that found Nipsey Hussle in California, right?
Correct.
Joey Badass, right?
Yeah.
T-Pain.
Yep.
So this wasn't a small deal. This wasn't Charles McCormick's song that's out there. He had a legitimate record deal.
Right.
Now, we know from Charles McCormick that people in this diss rap and this drill rap, they will rap about things that they weren't involved in, right?
Correct.
Because you said Charles McCormick was not involved in this.
Correct.
Now, you also agree that drill rap, the type rap like the video, Bang It Out, that sells, right?
Yes.
And I asked you, and I think I asked you, and it was a couple years back, sells a lot better than happy rap, like Will Smith rap,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Now, you had hopes prior to manage Ace, right?
Yes.
But he didn't take you along.
No, he already had a manager.
And then your son gets signed in 2019, right?
Right.
He's off in California shooting a music video in December, right?
I can't remember.
He didn't bring you along either.
That ain't true, man. That's not true.
He did not agree to let you manage his career. Or is your testimony that he did, he wanted you to manage it?
Of course.
Of course not. He didn't want you to manage it.
Of course, he did.
Yet you weren't with him on any of those trips, right?
I was with him on a lot of trips.
You have no credits on any of his songs.
No, I don't want no credits on this song.
And Johnny Shipes is the one that is in the records as his manager, right?
I would assume.
So let's now talk about the day before the murder. That white car that you already let us know, you drove that white car over to the JSO property facility, right?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
Now let's talk about the motive of others. Your testimony is that Hakeem Robinson, who was not shot, who is not biologically tied to Willie Addison like you, that somehow he had more motive than the other people that were actually shot. Right?
Say that again.
We're talking about the people that would have had a motive to be upset at Charles McCormick, okay?
Right.
You, Butter, and Brown, Blue, Butter, Brown, I'm going to trip over that if I say it fast. The whole thing about P Money was because you believe that he was behind Willie's murder, right?
Right.
Okay. So now Charles McCormick comes along and he's putting out a song. He's not signed to a record deal, right?
Right.
His song isn't getting any traction.
Right.
He's nowhere near the level of Ksoo, Hakeem Robinson, right?
Correct.
But your testimony is that that was a motive enough for murder. That's your testimony, right?
It's this song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's a whole list of people that would be way above him to have the motive to kill Charles McCormick, right?
Right.
You?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
You'd have no motive to kill a guy who's basically laughing about the night that you were shot.
I mean, not me. Shouldn't kill him pro se myself?
Look, all I know is this, and I'll put this in a question. You claim that the phone that's used by the shooter, that's registered in your name, right? Oh, excuse me, Darrell Watts, right?
Right.
And we'll get to that. You allegedly burn the clothes that Butter had on him, right?
Correct.
You break through the police perimeter to pick up Leroy Whitaker and Barner, right?
Come on, man. You exaggerating, man. You know it wasn't no police perimeter, none of that. You exaggerating now.
I'm exaggerating that there wasn't drones and helicopters overhead
How would I know that?
because you were driving to the location.
And I would see a drone in the air?
So we'll agree. All right, let's say that we'll let JSO answer the question whether they had a perimeter and they had hundreds of officers trying to find the shooter that was running through neighborhoods.
You really think I would have went through there if I seen all those police and all that? Or a drone and a helicopter and all that? You think I would have went up in there with my car registered in my name?
You don't want me to answer that question. So why don't you stick to answering my questions and not asking me them? It's a life you live, right? You live this life in the streets, right?
Nah.
Or wait, are you telling me that you, as the patriarch of the family, that basically these kids come by and say, hey, Blue, go do this?
They didn't call Leroy Whitaker daddy to go get it. They called me. They did. What if they would have called some? I would like to see how they would feel if they would have called somebody else to go pick somebody up. They didn't. They called me. If I would have knew something was going on, I wouldn't have never went.
All right.
Think I'm gonna go over there in my car with my phone and knowing something going on? I would like to been. If I would like to been involved in a crime, I'd like to know that I'm involved in a crime. Let me know that. Okay, it's a crime happening now. Let me know something. I was in the blind.
So you're a victim in this case, right?
I ain't gonna say I'm a victim, but I would like to know that I'm being involved in something and just ask for a ride.
All right, so then after you know about it, you're then cool with going to burn clothes, right?
Yeah, after I get to know about it, I was cool with that.
Yeah, what's a little bit of a felony, destruction of evidence.
Yeah, I did it. I like Scotty. I did.
Definitely know you didn't call 911.
Right.
That conscience only grew later when you were looking at life.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about Darrell Watts. There's a bunch of cell phones that are in the name of Darrell Watts, right?
Correct.
And the phone that was used, now, it's interesting, the government, they asked you about a bunch of phone numbers, and you remembered it off the top of your head, right?
Yeah.
But the one that they had to tell you was 478-305-9583.
Objection, Judge.
What's the grounds?
The misstatement.
Okay. I will, of course, the jury will recall the testimony that came out from the witness stand, if you'll just ask the question of the witness.
You were asked about a bunch of phone numbers, and you were able to recite them, except for one that they told you, and you just agreed, yes. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's 478-305-9583, right?
Right.
Now, that phone's under your dead friend's name, Darrell Watts, right?
Right.
You paid for that phone, right?
Correct.
And in December, you paid something like $1,000 that you owed on that phone and others.
Right.
So whoever it is that had that phone, the shooter. You supplied it to him.
Oh, I didn't know the shooter had the phone. I didn't know. I mean,
So, Darrell Watts was your best friend, right?
yeah,
He was murdered.
yeah.
To this day, you were not cleared as a suspect in that case.
Objection, Judge.
Sustained. Mr. DeCoste, just ask questions, please, that are relevant.
An arrest has not been made in the murder of Darrell Watts.
Objection, Judge.
Sustained.
Now, you've also learned that Torgon Williams was involved in the murder of Charles McCormick, right?
He was involved.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You don't know that?
No,
You were a co-defendant for a while, your attorney's going to depositions, you don't know the other people that were implicated?
no.
Chris Brown?
In Charles' case?
Yes.
No, I never seen that. No, I don't know that.
Janera Smith?
No.
But none of them have been charged.
Right.
Now let's focus on the specific day of January 15th, 2020. Your words, you didn't see Hakeem that entire day.
Correct.
Didn't see him before, right?
Right.
Didn't see him after.
Correct.
Now you said that you were worried about him, right?
Correct.
Well, you have all these phone numbers that you have memorized. You didn't call any of them,
Correct.
but you were concerned?
Yes.
Common sense dictates that if you're concerned about your son and that what you're saying is actually true, that you would have picked up the phone and called him, but you didn't do that.
Correct. I didn't.
Chifton Hogan. First time we've ever heard it's somebody you're related to.
I'm not related to him.
Okay, but it's somebody that's a couple degrees of separation, that's tied to the family, right?
He's my baby, mother, brother.
And you know from this case that he was never charged, right?
Correct.
Yet his DNA is inside of the car. Right?
Oh, I guess.
I'm not asking you to guess. I'm saying, do you know about the evidence in the case to which you pled to?
Some of it.
All right. Are you aware that Chifton Hogan's DNA is found inside of the car?
Yeah.
So you are sure now?
Yeah.
That would stand for the proposition that DNA can end up inside of a car without somebody ever being in it, right?
I'm not sure.
All right. So, your other son, Abdul Jr., he's not here anymore, right?
Correct.
Your hope, something that has been discussed, you're hoping that in exchange for your testimony here today, that his case would be dropped, right?
No.
You're not hoping for that?
I mean, if it do, it's good. I mean, but I can't say that.
So you're saying that that's not true, or you're saying it's not, or you're saying you do want your other son to be convicted?
No, I'm not saying I want him to be convicted. I'm not saying that I want him to be convicted. If they drop his case because of what I'm doing, great.
As long as you're protected, that's the most important thing for you, though.
When you say protected, what you mean?
The same thing that Ms. Schlacks asked you. You said, well, you know, if they drop his, well, that would be great. But your number one priority out of all of this is you.
I think I'm number 2.
Sir, you come in here as a 2-time convicted felon. Because of these other cases, you'll be convicted at least 2 more times, right?
Right. Correct.
A lifetime of crime, right?
Objection, Judge.
Sustained.
You'll be a 4-time convicted felon. You've already spent 10 years in prison and approximately 5 in custody on this,
Correct.
for a total of about 15 years in custody.
Correct. Let's not forget about the 10 years that I was out free and no trouble.
But then you got into trouble again.
Right. I was out free from 2009 to 2020, no trouble.
I understand, but coming in here today and going back to the question, your number one objective is protecting yourself.
Of course.
One brief moment, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Robinson, one more thing. The deal with Cinematic, that occurred right in the months before this murder, right?
Yes.
Basically, right around December, they fly him out to California. He's shooting music videos, but it's right around that time that he inked that deal.
I'm not sure. I don't remember him going out to California, so I can't say.
But you can say that that deal was inked right around that time.
Yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.